Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and it's Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023. Here for my weekly cross-stitching update. I grabbed Smokey and brought her in here with me, so we have our cozy friend, our little mascot. I was not able to film yesterday when I normally do because all my family was home, so we had a nice day together. Went to the park, played Frisbee, did some stuff around the house. It was nice. Nice day. Just no time for filming. So we'll start with travel stitching like we do. I don't have any new stash acquisitions to share with you this week. So this is Temperature Quaker, my newest temperature piece in my shop from last year. I actually did get a little bit of designing time this week, so I'm so excited to finally get going on my temperature piece for this year. I do have hopes of 2 temperature pieces this year, although as I'm designing the first one, which I wasn't planning to stitch, and now I want to stitch that one too, so we'll see. But hopefully I'll be able to release that new one soon. This is 25 count vintage cloth in the color Prim, 1/1 full cross, and finished up September. Got a couple days here that were, I think, 90, and then this last day here in September was high of 69. So fall is kind of all over the place there, but we're heading down into October now. Never got into the hottest 2 colors, which is strange. It got that hot other places in the country, but not here, which is usual for here and less usual for other places. So weather has been different this year. So not as colorful as usual. I also have been working on my Advent animals. Most of the time was spent FFOing. So I got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 FFO'd this week. Let's go back to where my plans are. Or not my plans, my what I did section. So I got Sophie Squirrel, Colin Cardinal, and Cassie Cow, Hamilton Horse, Remy Rabbit, Larry Lion, Odette Owl, and last but not least for this week, still had my needle minder on there, Ethan Elephant. So these I'm just, I'm stitching the border through the card and the fabric, and then I'm fraying the edges. I will eventually, I had a lot of people make comments about reinforcing these holes because I'm putting these on rings so we can flip them. And at first I'm thinking they're not going to get that much use. They're just a Christmas thing, but I'll probably have these for the rest of forever. So my grandkids could use these even. So reinforcing them somehow is a good idea. So I will probably do that. I went and tried to find some white reinforcing stickers last week, not this week, and they were sold out, of course. So I will do that eventually, but at this point they are, that's what, oh, at this point this is how they are, and I will add those when I can. And I'll get these taken out and put away. I need to find like a little box or something for them to go with, because they don't really fit in the box my frame comes in, so it's kind of a work in progress for that. Yesterday I got a little start on Gigi Giraffe. This is what she looks like. This will be my first one for my Whip Go call for October, to work on 2 more of these. And I haven't had any like regular travel time yet in October because with Sunday and the Broncos game, which we actually won finally. It was in the morning, so it was during church and then during when I was making lunch and stuff. So I didn't actually sit down and stitch during the Broncos game this week. Actually, when I did for a few minutes, but I finished up my temperature stitching. So yeah, didn't get to Advent Animals yet. And then no school pickups yesterday. So, but I did bring this with us to my family get together at my in-laws' house. So this is last night. So I worked on this a little bit last night in and around dinner and visiting and stuff. So these are on 18 count Ada, light blue by Zweigart, and 2/1 full cross, all the called for colors. So most of this dark brown or medium brown is finished. There's a little bit more down here in the legs, I think, and that might be it. And then I can move on to another color. But yeah, it'll have the Gigi comes up here, goes off camera, and comes back down here. So it's cute. And then there's a little Christmas tree in the middle. So I'll get a good chunk done on that this week, hopefully. My plan with these, I had a lot of extra time in September. I had 2 full weeks when I had finished my 2 WIPCO calls, and I had 2 full weeks to FFO. I only have 2 more left to FFO that were already finished. So what I'm going to do with these is when I finish them, I'm going to FFO them immediately. So when Gigi's done, she's going to get FFO'd right away because I have all the stuff in my bag. I know what I'm doing. I'll just go ahead and do her all the way to FFO stage before I move on to, I think it was Pink Panda is the other one for this month. And then I'll do her that same way all the way to FFO. And then if I still have time, which I probably will, I'll FFO the last 2, which are the Deborah Donkey and Rudolph reindeer. If I still have time after that, and there's still more October, which is, I think, likely, I will pull out my focus piece for the month and work on that in the car as well, because I have I know probably for sure I'll need extra time on that one if I want to finish it this month, because looking at it, I'm a little nervous about it, but we'll get to that. I also worked a little bit on my Frosted Pumpkin mystery stitch along. This is Castle Homecoming Club. And here's the parts that are out so far. This is going to go all the way through, I think, February of next year. So if you like it, there's still time to hop on. You probably won't. You'll probably finish before I will at this point. But I did a little bit more of the castle. I'm working on that one tower there. So here is mine. It's on 28 count Ice Blue Lugana 1/1 full cross. And my own color conversion for the most part, which is a little bit different. It's close, but a little bit different than what they have. So I worked over here in the castle. I got the whole dark, this is all one color here in the top. And then I got started on some bricks, which are a different color, working down, but that's what I managed to do in the hour I was talking to my sister. So that's fun. I do enjoy it. It's just don't really have room for it in my schedule, but we'll chip away at it as we can. Okay. I guess I could just talk about what I worked on as I worked on it, because everything, like, I think every day I pretty much have something different. So the last, let's see, Monday and Tuesday of last week, I was working on Colors of the Seasons to give this 2 more days. I think, yeah, did I film on Monday? I think I did. I was working here in summer. This is by Serenita Di Campagna, Colors of the Seasons 2. You can find this on 123 Stitch. And I failed miserably. I did not get very much done on this on those 2 days. I was kind of fritzing away what time I did have. Tuesday, I knew I'd have Bible study, so it'd already be a low stitchy day, and I just didn't use my time very wisely. Monday, I really didn't use my time wisely, and I just had played my games on my phone or something. I don't know. didn't do a good job on this one. So I got very little progress over those 2 days, which is kind of sad. But this is 27 count Linda in Vintage Country Mocha, 2/2 full cross. And I got the light gray and the dark gray finished, I believe. And I was hoping to get it more into the purples, but I just didn't. I thought, well, maybe should I pull this out on the last day of September instead of Those Who Sing? But I feel like Those Who Sing needed it, and because I do want to finish Those Who Sing this year. This one I have on my short list to finish next year, so I'm not too worried about it. And once I get into it, I do love working on it, so I'm not too broken up about it. I'm sad I didn't use my time wisely on those days, but that's life. I will pull this out. Here's all of it for now. Winter and autumn are finished, and summer and spring will be on the top. And I may go back and fix my mistakes down here and fill those in, the hearts and the words in here as well. It's not straightforward because I'm changing it from Italian to English, and I'm also putting them in like this square instead of a bell pull style. So the whole thing is more complicated than it should be. Okay, so then Wednesday and Thursday, I kind of went gangbusters and did lots of things on all the days. So first off, on Thursday, I worked on Butterfly Rose Cross with my friend Desiree. So I have fun working on this with her. This is Mini Butterfly Rose Cross by Bridget Ashwood, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I'm working, she's working on the regular, I'm working on the mini. We're both removing the background. I think hers comes with the background removed. They have a version with the background removed. I just didn't have it, and I'm doing it myself. So I did mostly up here in this butterfly, but you can see like there's a flower here and a butterfly here. So you'll kind of see the tops of little bits of that coming through as well. So here is this. This is 28 count, kind of a tealy color by Hand Dyeing Duo on Instagram. I want to make sure you can kind of see there what I've done. A lot more in that butterfly. And what's funny, it's a little greener and more of a green, well, I guess it's close. What's funny is I was recently working on Tea and Books the week before, and this butterfly, Tea and Books is by Bridget Ashwood as well, only that's the full-size version of that one. This butterfly is in a lot of the same area of the pattern, you know, the upper left corner, working on it first. Same thing with Tea and Books. It's the same butterfly, only that butterfly is like enormous compared to this one, because this is the mini and that's the regular. So it was just interesting to be like pulling the colors and filling in so much faster than on my other one. But I did get a little bit done in this butterfly. You can't really tell it's a butterfly yet. And then some up here is this top of the rose, so that's fun. I don't think I did anything in the sticks yet. I think I've finally finished the top little bit here. I may have done that last time. No, that was Tea and Books. I can't remember. But I think next time I can come over and work on some sticks a little bit more too. Because I'm picking symbols left to right, top to bottom with my by 10 by 10 blocks. So it's going well. Oh, 191 stitches was how much I got done on that one during my visit. Video call. I worked a little bit on my secret stitch that day. Can't show you. I feel really weird not showing you, but such as it is. And then I pulled out my letter fairy. I worked on this an extra day to make sure this got 4 days in September also. I think I did a little bit better on this one. And Colors of the Seasons. Here she is. So here's this one. This is on the Called For Water Lily Linen in 32 count, 2/2 full cross with my own color conversion. And I still want to figure out a way to share my color conversions easy, and I haven't made time for that yet. This one is not going to be an easy color conversion, and there's going to be a lot of explaining because I'm not doing a symbol by symbol conversion with the way the colors played out. But I am enjoying how it's looking. Filled in some more here on the bottom of the E. So this one should be finished before too long. I'm giving it, I think it's today. I'm going to work on this again today. And it will get another day every week for the end of the year. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be done before the end of the year, and then I can start my second S for my other niece. This one's mine. And I need to figure out her colors, figure out some color conversion for that one, because it will be a little different than this one. So that'll be fun. I'll probably, most likely, I'm thinking I'll be able to start that before the end of the year, and that'll be great. Thursday, did a little bit more on my secret stitch, and I started the Shine Bright sampler, which again, I feel weird not showing you, but the stitch along for the Fat Quarter Shop Shine Bright sampler starts November 1st, and I am stitching along. I was given these supplies, and I'll show my progress photo of the first chunk on November 1st. After that point, I think I'll just keep you updated week by week, and I'll post a picture every like milestone in Instagram for the stitch along, but I'll show it regularly on here if I have any progress to show that week, which hopefully I will if I am keeping up on it. I did a little bit on Thursday, a little bit on Saturday, and a little bit yesterday. Very little bit yesterday. The first 2 days I got a whole little section finished each time I worked on it. Yesterday it was just kind of I was working on Simpsons yesterday, so there was one little chunk where I knew I shouldn't have Simpsons out. My husband would be in and out, so I'm like, okay, that's going away for a second. I'll do a little bit on Shine Bright. So I got just a few stitches done yesterday on that one. That one is my first piece 1/1 on 40 count. Just kidding, 1/2 full cross on 40 count. And it's okay. It's not my favorite because it is a little bit light on the coverage. So I know that's kind of a choice that people make, especially with prim samplers. However, I was listening to, I think it was the one recently, City Stitcher's Flosstube, where she interviewed Jeanette Douglas, which was amazing, by the way. If you like Jeanette Douglas designs, head on over there and listen to that. Some comment she made, because she likes 40, Jeanette Douglas likes 40 count, that silk covers better than cotton on 40 count. So I was like, And I went and researched, and sure enough, I found an article that was talking about spun silk in particular. I can't speak for filament silk, that's different. Spun silk is a little bit fluffier than cotton, like DMC or whatnot. And so when you stitch on it, it kind of, even though it looks the same thickness, it ends up filling the space better. So going forward on my Jardin Privé that's upside down, I'm going to start this probably in February. I have this lated at the moment to be stitched on the other half of the light pink 40 count that I'm stitching Shine Bright on. I'm thinking I'm going to try kitting this up with silks and see what I think of that coverage 1/2 on 40 count. So this one only calls for 8 DMCs. The DMC to a Versoix conversion that I found online doesn't have 3 of the colors, DMC colors on there. So what I'm going to do, so I can't just order them online, and I don't know what color will match. My local needlepoint shop is having, I finally got on their mailing list. They're Queen Anne Stitches. They have a Friday fling once a month where you can come and sit and invite everybody to come and stitch together. And I'm thinking I'll try going, at least for a little bit, because I have school pickups at lunchtime on Friday. So I'm going to try to go for like an hour and a half and bring my, what do you call it? Counted canvas piece, Rosetto, bring that with me. But this first time, I think I'm going to try kitting this up. So assuming they have a Versoix or something similar, solid silks that would work. I'll bring my fabric and the DMC that's called for and try to kit it up in the store with stuff that will work on my fabric. So that's kind of my plan. I think it'll be fun. So that won't be for another couple weeks, but that'll be fun. I'll show you what I find if I find stuff that will work for that. That day on Thursday, my main project was Bear Time Stories. And I also worked on it on Friday as well in order to get to my 1,000 stitch goal. This is Mini Bear Time Stories by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork by Randall Spangler. And this is the cute one I'm doing for my middle son. Nope, not that one. I discovered for both of my sons' full coverages, if I do 1,000 stitches a month, it's more like 600 and something for one of them and 700 something for one of them, but I'm just rounding up to 1,000. It's nice and even. If I do 1,000 stitches a month, they'll be done before their high school graduations. So it feels like a long time from now, but I know it'll be here before I know it. And I want to be able to work on other stuff in the meantime. So I did 719 on Thursday and 643 on Friday for a total of 1,362 in September, which is great. This is on 40 count Vertil, 1/1 half cross. So it's super tiny. This is the whole piece. I'm working on the 814, which is the largest, the color with the most amount of stitches when I started, to get a nice structure. And then I'm going to go through and do a lot of the little colors that have the least amount of stitches and chip away at those, get a bunch of zeros. I worked a good amount on Friday as well because I didn't stop at 1,000 because I wanted to get to a point where here in October, whenever I pull this out, I will only give it one day and however much I need to get to 1,000. So I wanted to get to a point where I was close to only 1,000 stitches left of that color, 814. So next, I only have 1,034 stitches left in 814s, and that's all like in this area down here. So I'm thinking it'll be a lot less counting. Like this had some stuff, and in here that took a lot of counting, which takes some time. So I'm hoping that I can bust out this 1,000 stitches maybe in one day, or 1.5 later in October. So I'm excited about that because then starting in November, I can work on some of the small colors. And if, what I might do, I'm not sure in November and December how it's going to work exactly with making sure I get to my 1,000. I might need to give it 2 days, which will cut time out of something else, but that's all right. It's important. Going into next year, I'm automatically giving it 2 days. So what I was thinking what could work is have the first of the 2 days be colors that have small numbers of stitches. Keep chipping away at getting those ticked off. And then on the second day, especially if I feel like I need to just get some stitches fast, I'll go on the other end of the scale and pick the next color that has the most stitches and work on that one. And then kind of go back and forth. So each time I'll check off a few small colors, do some more like fill in of the big color and kind of go back and forth. That might be what I need to do, because if I get bogged down in the little colors because there's too much counting involved and I can't get to 1,000 stitches in 2 days, then that's kind of a problem. So I might have to go back and forth. So we'll see. So far, I'm super happy with how that's coming along and I made great progress. Saturday, I was able to pull out Those Who Sing, the last day of September. This is my focus piece here in October. I'll be giving this Wednesday through Saturday this week and next week, and more if needed, and I think it's going to be needed because I'm up here. There's a lot left. I was like, oh no. I do want this done because I started it a couple years ago. It was meant to just be like a birthday stitch along for that year, and it's not done. Kind of like Flea Market Flowers, where I kind of had a, expectation, I guess, of it being finished at some point, and so it's not. So I want it done, but I don't know if it's possible here in October. I need to be honest with myself about that. Worst case, it goes on the short list for being finished next year. It'd be really nice to finish it this year, but there's a lot left. So I'll give it what I can here in October. This will most likely go back and forth in the car as well once my Advent animals are done for October, and because it's fully kitted, it's in here, it's very easy to take with me. I actually have a couple DMCs. The white and one of the colors in their beaks are called for DMCs. So I am using the DMC for that, but everything else is fancy floss that I pulled from my stash. Some of it is called for, most of it I think is just what I had that looked comparable. So here's what I did on Saturday. So here is Those Who Sing. This is 32 count Mushroom Slushy by Fabric Flair. 2/2 full cross for all the cross stitches. And satin stitches are 2 strands, and the other specialty stitches are 1 strand. I got the 2 little birdies finished, which is nice. And then I got a couple links of green and a couple links of brown. I've still got some brown on my needle. So I got some tree done as well, but this is gonna take a while, so. And I had somebody comment, a couple comments actually on my back, because I showed this. This is a Fabric Flair, so it's printed only on one side. So I had showed my back, and there you can see, I don't do anything special. Starting and stopping threads, I run my thread underneath the other stitches. That's what I do for everything. With these letters, I tried to make sure I kind of followed the letter as best as I could without carrying too much. But you can see it, like I'll carry from one letter to another, but not from one word to another. Like I'll break it, so there's no, if this shows, I feel like it's okay because it's within the same word. But I don't want a carry in between the words. So that's kind of my cutoff for carrying. And then everything else, I just tuck it under previous stitches. So that's what I do. I know the pin stitch is probably secure, but I don't feel like it is in my mind. And I have heard some people say it comes out occasionally with certain fabrics and certain threads. I'm like, you know what? I like the way I do it. I'm sticking with it. I've done it for 30 years. Why stop now? So that's how I do that. Sunday was October 1st, so I got to have my first day on Autumn Montage for the season. This is by Pain Free Crafts, artwork by Janet Stever. I'm up here in this acorn branch section, which at first glance is boring and not my colors at all. I like some of these other ones a lot better, but I really enjoy stitching it. So I'm just like over here. I decided to pick my 10 by 10 block symbol choosing down, and then I'll go vertically across this container or this block, and then I'll do this one, you know, maybe this one, I don't even know. I'll figure that out later. Yeah, but right now I'm over here and the colors are pretty. It's really getting me in the fall mood. Some of them are background colors, so they went quicker, and I got 493 stitches yesterday. Nope, Sunday, just kidding. Yesterday was Monday. So this is Autumn Montage, 28 count Mushroom Lugana, 1/1 full cross. So I made it to the bottom of the block. So that's how tall that first little section will be, the little vignette. And I was picking symbols coming down, but because some of these colors were also up here, the first 3 10 by 10 squares along the top are actually completed. And I think the next one down is also completed. And one of these colors in here was this dark brown, so I got to do more in here because I'm picking symbols along here, but I'm stitching them wherever they go. So that's why you'll see more done over here as well. I'm trying to focus on what's down here, you know, along this first column, so that when I get there, I don't have to pull that string again. I can just that'll already be done. And I can complete it from this way, but there will be stitches elsewhere. I'm cross-countrying until the thread runs out with the colors that I pick. And I had somebody talk to me, I haven't answered her back yet either, but about her start on autumn montage, and there is like, this is less confetti heavy, but this first leaf, yes, there's a good amount of colors in there. And here's my back on this one too. So it is rather dense here in the beginning, because she was worried about this, it being bulky, I guess, and just, it does tend to be bulky when you're always starting in a very similar place, but to kind of try to vary it as much as you can. And again, with this one, I'm just running my needle under previous stitches to start and stop. And obviously I'm ending the threads on these outer bits because that's where the thread ended. So this is just the starting point here with the tails. It is a little thicker, but it's not too bad. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, but just if you are starting, like the tops of those butterflies, both in Tea and Books and Butterfly Rose Cross, are quite thick because there's like a whole bunch of colors that start right along that top edge. So every once in a while, if I can, I'll weave my thread underneath just to kind of try to spread out those tails a little bit, so that it's not quite so thick on the edge. But there's some measure of that you can't really avoid. So do your best. Okay, so yesterday was Simpsons. Oh, I also worked on my secret stitch a little bit, and then, like I said, a tiny bit on Shine Bright Sampler. But mostly Simpsons, and I actually had a good stitching day on this. I'm very excited. So this is my piece I'm doing for my husband. It's still a secret, and I managed to get 402 half stitches on this. So that's exciting. You still may not be able to see a whole lot because I'm picking, again, symbols and 10 by 10 squares across left to right, top to bottom, and I finished 2 rows that had symbols in them before yesterday, and now they don't. So 2 full rows, additional rows from what was before are now complete, but a lot of those colors were edge colors, so it's not super easy to see. We'll see if you can. So this is, again, 40 count Vertil 1/1 half crosses, just like the Bear Time Stories. So it's very tiny, and a lot of edge pieces were filled out, and a lot in Marge's face and neck area was extra. And I actually have some white on my needle. I'm filling this in with some white because that was the next color that was needed to be done. I may also do some of his shirt. I still have it on my string, on my needle for next time. White on white, 1/1 half cross. Not fun. Somehow I'm managing to do it, but it's wild how very little you can see that because it just looks like the fabric. But at the right angle, you can tell where the stitch is and where a stitch isn't. So it's working. I don't know how, but it's working. But I have to take it carefully and do a whole row before I put it down and mark it, or else I won't know where I am coming back to. So I got to make sure I just do a whole row, mark it off before I set it down, because otherwise, who knows? All right, so I think that's everything. Today, I'll be working on Letter Fairy. The rest of the week, I'll be working on Those Who Sing, and then an autumn montage will come back out on Sunday, and then hopefully I'll come back and talk to you again next week. I don't think I have anything going. Yeah, should be a Monday again next week. So that's fun, and here's my sleeping kitty cat. And I hope you have a wonderful week, good start to your October, and happy stitching. Bye.